Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Witch on the Holy Night. So last time we finished up chapter 8 and we had a nice conversation between Alice and Sojo right there. It's so nice because yeah, their relationship is improving now and they're much more comfortable with each other. So let us continue. So we're gonna do, I guess, a side story today. Let's see how long it is. Alright, so let's start with the one in chapter 8, I guess. This one. Whiteboard. If we have time, then maybe we can start the other one as well. But yeah, we'll do this one first. An unwritten schedule leaves both the process and results unsettled. Toki. How do you say that? Julik? Yulik?
失礼します。2の D のくまりです。
Kumari?
体育館倉庫の鍵、職員室に返してきました。
Only Aoko was present in the second student council room when Kojika Kumari entered.
お疲れ。もうちょっとでバイト終わるから、そこ座ってて。
Aoko was seated at the long table surrounded by a pile of textbooks and using her pen to write rapidly. Strewn about the table were not school-specified notebooks, but rather papers for writing reports.
何してんの青崎。課題？それとも補習？どっちにしても真面目なこと。冬休み始まったばかりなのに。そりゃあこんなところで特別清掃なんかに付き合わされているけどさ。これは別件。知り合いの大学生から流してもらった代筆のバイト。何年も前に提出されたレポートを丸写しにして卒論クリアしようって話。写本ならぬシャレポートかよ。結構な量だなおい。それどこの大学生？まさかみぞら大じゃないでしょうね。
Kumari couldn't seem to hide her discomfort as she started thumping through some of the reports next to Aoko. The slightly brown-tinged reports had to be at least 10 years old.
そのまさかよ。知り合いの大学生なんてみぞら以外にいるかっていうの。安心なさい。熊の兄貴たちからの仕事じゃないから。そもそもあんたの兄貴軍団、今年も残る気満々なんでしょ？熊言わないで軍団もやめろ。
Kuma. Kuma is basically a bear, right? A bear. Her voice was snappy. Not that Aoko could judge, but this girl's unfriendliness could rival even her at own times. Or her own, I mean, at times. Kumari's speech was dry enough as it was, but when she got riled up about something, she really let it all out. Apparently she got it from her father. She was trying to work on it, but it was a hard fix, though an old habit she had since elementary school.
けどこれどうなのよ。丸写しにしても古すぎて通らないんじゃない？そこはそれ腐ってもタイというか。技術的に古い部分はピックアップしてあるからテキスト参考にして数字だけ変えておいてだってさ。何それ、本当にバカじゃないの。そこまで分かってるなら自分でやればいいのに。で、いつからやってるの？今日の朝から。半日の稼ぎにしちゃ悪くないわよ。レポート1冊分で1万円。生徒会長が内職かよ。道理で築地に監督を任せたわけだ。他言は無用でお願いします。
Kumari relaxed a bit at Aoko's pleasant response and decided to sit down in the nearest chair. The room was silent, save for the sound of the scratching of Aoko's ballpoint pen. The sky was a clear blue and there were boys in the rear courtyard playing baseball in their jerseys. With the special winter clearing finished, it seemed they decided to start enjoying their free time.
この寒いのによくもまあ。ってあれ2年の男どもだ。
Said boys were playing in teams of 5 since they apparently could not get enough people together to play a proper game. It was a boring game of mostly strikeouts and poor hits, but they sure seemed to be having fun. Their yelling and hollering mostly consisted of bad words, surprised yells, and cackling laughter.
あれ？ホウスケとしずきが一緒なのはわかるけど、築地も一緒じゃん。青崎、あいつら仲いいの？は
あ？なんでよそのクラスの集まりに顔出してんのよあいつ。まあ裏山の清掃が終わってるなら文句はないけど。
お、投げた。築地ピッチャーできるんだ。
Chukiji.
基本あいつは何でもできるからね。本人サボり症でめったに動かないけど、本気出せば何だってこなすのよ。唯一足りない才能があるとしたら子供らしさってやつでしょうね。
詳しいじゃない。青崎、築地と付き合ってるって本当？
あいつと付き合うぐらいならあんたと付き合うわ。
I'd date you before I date him.
顔のいい男は好きじゃないし、やっぱり男はシュワちゃんぐらいじゃないと。
I need a macho man like that Austrian. What?
シュワ誰それ？
グレートの方のコナンの主役やった人。
へえ、顎割れてないとダメなんだ。青崎って面食いかと思ってたけど、ごっつい系が趣味なの？
Wait, is Chukiji Tobimaru? I kind of forgot the other name, right? Sorry. But I think it's Tobimaru.
別にそういうわけじゃないけど。教訓よ、教訓。なよっとしたやつとか、やけに口がうまいやつとか、気軽な男はほんと信用ならないっていうか。
They continued their conversation, one staring at the report pages and the other gazing out at the schoolyard. They had met in high school and soon grew to be friends who enjoyed chatting together.
青崎、冬休みはどうする？予定ある
？1回ぐらいは遊びに行きたいんだけど、ちょい忙しくて。年明けに時間作るからそれまで待って。あ、B 組の山瀬さんたち誘う？確か去年も冬休みに上京してたでしょ、彼女ら。
ああ、ありゃ私たちと系統が違う生粋のお嬢様だからね。青崎の趣味知ったらドン引きされるからやめといた方がいい。お、撃たれた。おお、柵越えた。あれってホームランってやつだ。やるじゃんしずき。築地から1本取るなんて運動神経抜群ね。
そりゃ山育ちだし、それぐらい取り柄がないと。来年の身体測定、飛び丸とトップ争うんじゃない？山じゃ2時間歩きっぱなしとかザラだったそうだし、水泳部じゃなく陸上部に紹介すればよかった。
詳しいのね。もしかして付き合ってるのあっちとか？ああ、いやさすがにないか。
He's the one you're dating. The constant sound of Aoko's ballpoint pen moving across the paper suddenly stopped. She stood up naturally from her seat, took a quick break to pour some fresh tea, and returned to her work without acknowledging what had been said.
冬休みの予定だけど、くまり、何かリクエストある？
別に見たい映画が溜まってるだけ。こっちじゃ上映しない映画をはしごしたい。青崎は？
私は新しい冬物と CD 買えればいいかな。あ、その前にまずは CD プレイヤーか。そろそろ3万円切るはずなのよあれ。
30,000 yen for a CD player. I mean, I guess.
はあ、新しいもの好きよねあんた。 CD なんて高いだけで騒がれてるのは今だけだってば。だいたい音楽なんてレンタルしてカセットテープに落とせば500円で済むじゃない。ベータデッキみたいにそのうち廃れるって。
True.
そう？私 CD は定番になると思うけどな。過去になるのはカセットテープの方よ、きっと。
それはない、絶対ない。かけてもいい。だって CD って録音できないんでしょ。そんなのにカセットテープが負けるはずない。
クマは保守派だからな。政権交代は何にだってあるでしょうに。でもまあその賭け乗った。生徒会の歴史に書いておくからね。10年いえ5年後を楽しみにしていましょう。
5年後か。いいね。ちょうど大学の終わりだ。青崎、東京の大学に行くんでしょ。どこ志望してるのか教えてよ。
実はまだ決めてないのよ。上京したいのは山々なんだけど。
ありゃ意外。あんたのことだから向こう3年分ぐらいスケジュール組んでると思ったのに。
I wonder if we're gonna see the other characters, right? Or for example, yeah, Aoko, Alice, Sojiro. Because yeah, they said this game, Witch in the Holy Night, is kind of like a prequel to Tsukihime, right? So maybe some of the characters will be appearing there. So yeah, that would be nice to see. Like how, like what is the time skip, I mean? For example, like 10 years. We'll see the characters much more older. That would be nice. Aoko laughed dryly at the obvious jab. Aoko knew what direction she wanted her life to go in, but she didn't usually think too much about the details. Once she made the decision, she followed through with it. That's why she didn't actually write out a schedule.
クマ、終わったら駅前のラーメン屋付き合ってよ。体力使ったからなんかお腹減ってきた。
Kuma again.
そこは頭使ったから甘いもの食べたくなったにしといた方が女らしいと思うけどね。いいよ、うちでいいならサービスしとくけど寄ってく？
もちろん。持つべきものは女の友情。
The girls waited patiently for winter vacation to start in the student council room. Their free time after school was spent through this kind of frivolous conversation. Aoko spent her nights as a mage and her days as a normal high school student. The conversations she had with her friends were no different from any other girl's age. She enjoyed both aspects of her life equally, even if one of those involved fighting against mortal enemies.
ところで青崎、さっきの掛け金はどうする？
そうね。私も鬼じゃないし、その時の貯金1割で手を打つわ。根こそぎ奪うのは勘弁してあげる。
She wasn't lying, but fundamentally she was still an imp at heart.
なんかゾワッときたな、今。
Oh my god, this dude is actually wearing the collar. Look at this. Okay. What? He's actually wearing it at school. I just got a bad feeling all of a sudden. Victim A whispered quietly after sneezing.
なんだよ、風邪でもひいたか、しずき。よし、じゃあこんなとこで野球やっててもしょうがねえし、街に繰り出すとしましょうか。
Can you mention his collar? Can you talk about that? Can you ask him about it? This was their fourth game of 5-man baseball. They'd gained some spectators since starting an hour ago and were playing special rules where infield grounders were called out when caught and home runs were rewarded with leftover sweet red bean soup cans. Hosuke Kinomi had gotten bored once he realized it was still going to be a while until it was his turn to play. Honestly, I should write down the names of the characters. Yeah, I forget them because yeah, we mostly just see characters like Aoko, Alice, and Sojiro, and the other ones. we barely see them just now. Yeah, only recently. Yeah, this recent episodes that we're having. But there were long stretches that only the three characters are being shown.
お前ほんと猿だったんだな。先立つものがねえから野球やろうぜって言い出したのはてめえだろうが。
それはそれ、これはこれっしょ。だって A 組のやつらとか集まってきたしさ、俺あいつら嫌いだしさ、なんかノリが合わないっていうか。
安心しろ、あっちもてめえとは合わねえとよ。いい機会じゃねえか。気に食わないんなら試合で片付けてやれよ。こっちも本気でやってやるから。
Tobimaru calmly punched back at Kinomi while practicing his pitching at the wall. He was throwing harder than usual. Maybe he was angry because of that home run he gave up earlier. He was in Class A and had taken on the role of captain for the other boys from Class A who showed up to play.
ちょっと待った。そりゃ誤解だぜ殿下。俺たち木の実結構好きよ。バカなところとか、平気で女連中の品評会開くところとか、合コン企画するところとか、真似できねえよ、ほんと。
All the other boys in Class A nodded affirmatively.
ざけんな！てめえらいつも美味しいところだけ持っていきやがって！カラオケ会開いてよ、女の子と遊びたいよなんて甘えてきやがって。なんで気がついたら俺一人だけで会計してたの？一緒にテニス部覗きに行ったのに、どうして俺だけ悪者なの？もしかして利用されてるだけってそろそろ気がついていいの？やべ、まだ気づいてなかった。本物だ。
ごめん、木の実のおかげで僕にも彼女ができました。彼女の口癖は木の実くんよりマシよです。
てめえら本気でムカつく。青木生学生生活を送ってんじゃね
え。Kinomi took his bat, swung it around as he chased after the boys in Class A. They seemed to be having fun running from him while sarcastically thanking him. One of Kinomi's best virtues was his ability to remain good-natured in the face of insults.
木の実は人気者だな。
ああ、バカなのが救いだな。あれで下手に利口だったら犯罪者になってるところだ。いや、その前に今度こそ青崎に締められるか。あいつ小ずるいチンピラには容赦ねえからな。
そうなのか。今度こそ。
Sojiro fell deep into thought. From the way that sounded, Kinomi seemed to have some kind of history with Aoko Aozaki.
木の実は青崎にその化粧してたことがあるのか？
あ、化粧？あ、化粧か。あのバカにそんな風情があるかって。ちょいとな、青崎と木の実には条件反射じみた事件があったんだよ。ありゃ入学式のことだ。そうだよな、木の実。
Kinomi froze and glanced back at Tobimaru's provocation.
ああ、入学式な。すげえ体してる女子がいたからさ、つい声をかけたんだよな。彼女、どのクラスって。いやでもまさか手が出るとは思わなかった。俺的には1センチ前で寸止めしようとしたんだけど、目測を誤った。俺の視覚情報より青崎の肉体のサイズがやや勝っていたということさね。
Kinomi laughed loudly as he gazed up at the sky. That was all the explanation Shojiro needed to know what really happened that day at the entrance ceremony.
バカな。なぜ命がある木の実？
だろう？俺の顎垂直に跳ね上がったんだぜ。 平手とか拳とかそういうレベルじゃねえの。下からギャーンだぜ、ギャーン。周りにいたギャラリー曰く、プールで縦に沈めたビート板が浮上するように青崎の靴がひらめいたらしい。今だから言いますけど、俺あの後の記憶がすっぽりないのです。
Rubbing his jaw, Kinomi returned to their side, tired of wasting his energy chasing after the Class A boys.
そんなことより遊びに行こうぜ。殿下金持ってるだろう。おごってくれよ。
You can pay, your highness. I know you're loaded.
ったく、まあ映画なら考えないこともない。ちょうど見たい映画あんだよ。映画の内容より見終わった後に文句言い合う方が楽しい部類の B 級でな。犠牲者が必要なんで、この際てめえでもいいぞ。
やだ、映画とかつまんねえよ。大の男がさ、2時間も同じところ座ってられねえって。そんなんだったらゲーセンかコンビニの駐車場で駄菓子食ってる方が楽しいって。
お前、それ今の状況と何が違うんだ。
いいんだよ、外でだべってれば楽しいんだって。あ、それともバンドでもやるか。今 UK ロックが熱い。バイト先の先輩にパンクロックなら誰でもできると聞いた。
We could start a band. British rock is really hot right now. A friend at my part-time job said anybody can play punk rock. Okay.
ああ、そうかよ。ファッションにならねえようにな。
This was the rear courtyard during the winter vacation. Kinomi and Tobimura spent a relaxing reprieve at chattering away about nothing of much substance. So this is the winter vacation in Japan. You still need to go to school, but you're just cleaning? Is that it? And they've been cleaning for a couple episodes now.
じゃあナンパ。駅前でナンパしようぜ。殿下がいれば年上のお姉さんも釣れるし。そうだ、お金がないならレディーたちにおごってもらえばいいんじゃない？
This Kinomi, man.
その年で紐か。てめえの人生設計明るすぎて頭痛がするぜ。
俺将来の展望だけはできてるからね。
He wants to be, what do you call it again? Host? Hostess? No, hostess. But it was what is a counterpart of a host? Technically a male host, right? Yeah.
なあ、しずき、お前からも言ってやれよ。ナンパに行こうって。女の子たちと楽しく騒ごうって。殿下は立ってるだけでいいし、しずきだって年上のお姉さんから見たら弟属性っていうの？うまくいけばこう、俺の時みたいに1時間後には一冬のアバンチュール。
Hinomi's hands were flailing around in excitement, dancing around like so many waving tentacles. His mind was apparently still swimming in the memories of a golden time he had once had. Anyway...
木の実、その時なんて言ったんだ？
ああ、その時の決め台詞ね。お姉さん綺麗っすね。俺そこのビルのオーナーの息子なんすけど、ちょっと遊んでいきませんって。嘘だってバレたら逃げられたけどな。
そうじゃなくて入学式。
ああ、そっちか。青崎の首から下の部分に向かって、うわ、お前胸でかくね？
What? He actually said that to Aoko? He let out a loud guffaw as he recalled his story. His lack of intelligence and propriety was truly remarkable. Or rather, mind-boggling. Nonetheless, Kinomi was now in high spirits after recalling the exciting memory. Conversely, Sojiro was standing in a complete sullen silence.
どうしたしずき？あ、やっぱりナンパとか興味ないか。
当たり前だ。てめえみたいな色ボケと宗十郎を一緒にするな。
いや、興味はある。
This dude. Come on.
可愛い女の子は可愛いと思うし、たまに薄着なところに出くわすと目のやり場に困るだろう。 ああいう時、自分が男だってことを実感するよな。
Okay. Both are shocked. Look at Tobimaru's face, like, what are you saying? His words shot through the air like a bolt of lightning. It was as shocking as when a kid sees the head of a character at an amusement park fall off, revealing the person inside. Like whenever Sojiro talks, like whenever someone says, like even last time, right? When we think that he was gonna say something serious, suddenly he's saying a joke, like asking for Alice's food if she's gonna finish it, right? And then here, Tobimaru is saying, Sojiro is not the kind of guy like you. He's actually good. He's not a pervert like you. And then Sojiro says, actually, no, I'm actually interested.
そりゃそうだよな。すまん、見くびっていた。つまりしずきも俺たちの同志ってことでいいんだな。
同志
One of us.
そうだ。例えばこう夏場の女子のうなじに光る汗とか、テニス部の女子の肩から脇にかけての清涼感とか、ぶっちゃけ水泳部の競泳水着の後ろ姿だよ。
Soldier's eyes were filled with question marks. Apparently he hadn't quite understood Kinomi's explanation.
いやだから普段は同い年のガキにしか見えない女どもでもたまに見せる無防備な仕草とかグッとくるよな。
うん。無防備なのはちょっと考えてほしい。
Whether it was because Sojiro was unsure if Kinomi was referring to someone in particular, or whether he was just concerned about how this related to himself, a troubled look washed over his face.
いいんだって、それでいいんだって。なぜなら高校生男子の6割は性欲でできていますからね。よし、そうと決まれば早速ナンパに行こうぜ。メンツが変われば超過も変わるってもんだ。
And with that, he happily put his arm around Sojiro's shoulder and headed off towards a train station.
ちょっと待て。あまりのことに絶句しちまったが、てめえは根本的に間違ってる。宗次郎、そもそもナンパって言葉が何なのか知ってるか？
Define pick up. Answer telephone call to recite a Shakespearean work, to transport someone from one place or another, to pay someone's bill, to try and persuade someone to have a romantic relationship.
2番か。
Number 2. What is number 2 again? Recite a Shakespearean work. Wrong. 9 times out of 10, when a bunch of high schoolers are talking about picking up girls, they mean the definition of number 5. Yeah, actually picking up girls. Yes, like that.
ほら見ろ。てめえとは興味の度合いが違うんだよ。女引っ掛けに行くなら一人で行け。なあ、あと岬の駅前はやめとけよ。うちの評判が悪くなるから。ナンパなら隣町でやりやがれ。
Do it the next town over, so no one notices him. Tobimaru waved his hand at Kinomi as if he was shooing away a pest. Kinomi clicked his tongue in frustration and removed his arm from around Sojiro's shoulders.
くそ面白くねえ。はいよ、おとなしく野球やってますよ。いつの間にか俺たちの番が回ってきたみたいだし。
He complained all the way to the pitcher's mound. Sojiro looked on regretfully.
おい、まさか本気でナンパに行きたかったのか？
お？いや、ナンパはよくわからないけど、街には用があったんだ。ちょっと欲しいものがあって。そうだ、飛び丸。生徒会室にあるあの白いやつ、どこに行けば買えるか知ってるか？
Oh, so here we go. He wants to buy a whiteboard. That's why this is the name of the chapter, the extra chapter, whiteboard.
Huh?
Sojiro spread his arms wide, making a bizarre gesture. 1 hour later at the department store in front of the train station, Tobimaru was so confused after he figured out what Sojiro wanted to buy.
しかし、なんだってこんなものを。
Yeah, what is he gonna use it for though? Like for what? The Kuonji estate was surprisingly comfortable for all 3 of its occupants this evening. Maybe it was because the dinner Alice had prepared was so wonderful. Okay, Alice cooked today.
7回アリスの実家じゃ1日に7回も食事をとるのか
7 meals a day? Like you can say, you can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? I think she counts every snack that she eats as a meal. Like I would eat one snack, one piece of bread, that's a meal.
一体どうやって
Soldier asked Alice this question in the sunroom from the 3rd sofa brought up from the mansion's basement by himself.
食事をとっているわけじゃないわ。ティータイムは1日7回行うのが理想というだけ。
7 tea times a day?
寝起きのアーリー、朝食のブレックファースト、午前の11時ズ、午後のミディーティーブレイク、午後の社交界アフタヌーン、夜会のハイティー、ディナー後のアフターディナー。
The thing about tea is healthy though. So yes, it's okay if you drink a lot of it.
この中で食事に該当するのはハイティーだけよ。田舎での話だけれど。
Alice was enjoying her black tea by herself in the sunroom. She was drinking a royal blend. A fine blend of Darjeeling Ceylon and some orange Pecco tea leaves. To accompany her tea, she had some strawberries dipped in sugar. And the tea that Alice has is the rich kind of tea. So yeah, extra healthy. She was in a world of all her own.
つまり一日中お茶を飲んでいるのか
そうね。そう暮らせるのなら理想的ね。
She couldn't understand why was this so hard for Sojiro to grasp. Alice picked up a strawberry up with her slender fingers and carried it to her mouth as if she were going to give it a kiss. Where's Aoko, by the way? Sojiro was briefly transfixed by the graceful sight and shook his head to clear his thoughts. He had become slightly too sensitive to the fact that they were indeed of the opposite sex, perhaps due to his conversation earlier that day. I guess.
でもその口ぶりだとアリスは7回できてないんだ
3回が限度よ。相方が未熟だからやらなくちゃいけないことが増えてしまって。
相方
Aoko. Sojiro turned to look to his side. There he saw Aoko.
何よ、1日3回も開いてれば上出来じゃない。うちの生徒会なんて黙ってお茶飲んでるだけよ。いちいち鍋からお湯沸かしてポット使ってたっぷり蒸らすなんて3時のおやつと夕食後だけで十分でしょ。アリスは手間をかけすぎ。私贅沢は好きだけど贅沢になれるのはごめんだから。
Honestly, do you like a fancy lifestyle? I mean, it would be nice to experience, but just having a normal lifestyle is good enough for me. Even though Aoko was arguing, she still seemed to be in a good mood.
贅沢なのは青子たちの方よ。日本の水道水はこんなにも美味しいのに、どうしてあなたたちはこの黄金の価値に気づかないのかしら。
Can you actually drink tap water in Japan? I mean, I
1
guess.
日7回もお茶会開く国民性じゃないからでしょ。
I mean, I guess Japan is very very advanced and stuff, right? So maybe, yeah.
気をつけなさいね、宗十郎。美味しい紅茶を入れようとしてペットボトルの水なんて買ってきたらアリスに1時間近くお説教されるから。
What was she saying? Sorry. Okay. It was true that better water should make a better cup of tea. That was why Aoko went out and bought bottles of natural spring water as soon as she moved into the Kuonji estate. Her proud show and tell to Alice led to their first petty argument. That they were exhausted after quarreling about something one would think wasn't nearly as significant as magecraft.
青崎さん、夕食を作る気力残ってる？
What is this? Is Alice narrating this?
パス。主義に反するけど、てんやものを頼んでみよう。
And that had been her first time ordering from a soba noodle shop by phone. Their slovenly attitude toward household chores had only accelerated since then.
いやー、あの後は悔しくって、お茶について調べまくったもんだわ。アリスに質問したり競い合ってたら、いつの間にか私も紅茶党の仲間入りよ。私、姉貴の影響で中学までコーヒー党だったのに。
そこには感謝しているわ。青子が連れ出してくれなかったら、コープランドのアンティークカップに出会えなかったもの。
気がついたら骨董品回りしてたものね、去年の私たち。
The drawing room and the sunroom, though they were not even in the same room, the two were enjoying a fun and lively conversation nonetheless. Soldier wondered why they didn't just sit together and chat in the drawing room since they got along so well. He didn't yet understand how the physical distance between them made those stories of old memories more meaningful.
アリスは外に出ない子だったんだ。
ええ、この子ったらほんと屋内派で、外に出るのは学校だけだったんだから。今日だってずっと洋館にいたんでしょ、アリス。
違うわ。外に用がないだけよ。今日はプロイの補充に忙しかっただけだし。
それだ。プロイの補充ってことは、遊園地の時みたいなのはここで生まれてるのか
？That smirk. Ever since a terrible incident, Sojiro had been sensitive whenever ploys came up. He'd only been worried about escaping with his life at the time, but as time passed, what were those mysterious things? What happened to the blue bird, by the way? Right, we haven't seen it again. He became filled with curiosity. Yeah, the blue bird was very funny when it was there. Now it's just gone.
何？知りたい？宗十郎。
教えてくれるなら知りたいけど、いや、よく考えると聞かない方がいいような。やっぱり知りたいような。
よし、そういうことなら話してあげましょう。ちょっとした触りだけなら怒らないわよね、アリス。
Aoko quickly recrossed her legs in anticipation.
別に私とあなたの違いを話すぐらいならいいけど。
よし、決まった。って何よあんた、妙な顔して。自分から言っておいて尻尾巻くの？
いや、そうではなく。
Sojiro diverted his eyes at Aoko's direct stare. Sojiro and Aoko currently only spent time together after dinner every once in a while. However, he would catch a glimpse of some innocent gesture of hers and wouldn't know how to respond.
いいんだ、続けてくれ。興味はある。
よし、じゃあコマ撮り呼ばないとね。
Oh, my Robin.
それでは特別授業、なぜなにプロイキッシャー、始まり。
Aoko snapped her fingers. Apparently, she was trying to mimic turning on the switch to a TV. It was a veritable TV special. That's how a lecture about a certain brand of magecraft, performed and directed by Alice Kuwanji, first aired. Oh, is it gonna be a presentation now? Nothing. Come on, I thought it was gonna be something. Unfortunately, the special production was cancelled only 30 minutes after it began. It didn't even show us anything. Apparently the content had been a little too esoteric for Sojiro.
分かってはいたけど、しずきくんの覚えの悪さは三千世界に響き渡るわね。
She almost said he was better off dead, but took a deep breath to avoid being hurtful.
かわいそうなアリス。さすがに今回は同情するわ。そいつにとっちゃ私の魔術もアリスの魔術もすごく便利でくくられちゃうものだなんて、他の魔術師が聞いたら失神者の屈辱よ。
Aoko was exasperated. She also felt some measure of regret. She should have realized it would be the outcome.
そんなことはない。ちゃんと区別はつく。青崎は壊すだけで、アリスはいろんなものを作ってそれで壊すんだろ。
怖いわ青子。私どうしてか胸が苦しい。こういうことって本当にあるのね。
What did he say? Sorry, I accidentally skipped it. Alice make things to break stuff with. Therefore, Alice is a little more productive.
まるでお気に入りのカップを割ってしまった時、通りかかったキリンに「でもトロルよりマシですよ」と慰められた気分だわ。
どういう意味よそれ。
Aoko glared at Alice sitting across from her. Alice had alluded to a fairy tale about a less than intelligent giant who lived under a bridge.
今の宗十郎の指摘結構合ってると思うけど、私アリスのプロイが生活の役に立つとこ見たことないし、コマドリも双子も最後はドジって終わりじゃない。
それは結果論よ。役立とうという諸子は尊重するべきだわ。だいたいあれやそれが最後に全部台無しにするのは私の責任じゃないのだし。
Both girls were now just intent on calling the other out. It seemed neither wanted to admit their own shortcomings when it came to magecraft, even when it came down to a silly argument about who was the worst at breaking things.
いや、でもアリスの使い魔は役に立ってるぞ。前に森で落ち葉を集めている豚を見かけた。あれはアリスの使い魔なのに、なんで青崎に言ってやらないんだ？まあ、いいことをしたのに黙っているのは美徳だって山城先生は言ってたけど。
Alice had simply sent the chatty twins out in the forest to break them in, as it were. To Sojiro, this had seemed like a good deed. Aoko was visibly getting more fed up with this conversation since Sojiro had decided Alice was the victor here.
掃除をしているから生産的とかずいぶん小さな判断ですこと。もっとこう大きな視点で評価できないのかしらね、このお掃除マシーンは。
大きな視点。例えばお金儲けとか。
What? You think cleaning is productive? I guess you can see the bigger picture. Why is she shocked? What? I don't understand. What? The two girls both tried to remain calm in the face of such a direct question. Even a fool could think of a good idea sometimes.
呆れた。我ながらその発想はなかったわ。盲点すぎたっていうか、基本魔術って損失しか生まないものだから。
Alice nodded affirmatively.
それで例えば？あなたから見て私の魔術はどんな金策ができると思う？
青崎ならそうだな、マグロを捕まえるのはどうだろう。
So let's put Aoko in a tuna boat and then she can use her magic to catch tuna, right? Is that it? Silence. Aoko adjusted the position of her crossed legs.
なんでマグロ？
She asked this question seriously.
いや、朝一で大変高価だと聞いた。
Dude, I mean, it's tuna. Of course it's gonna be expensive.
でも捕まえるのは難しいって。あんな巨大なものが水の中では車より速く泳ぐと。
そりゃ地球が誇る大型肉食魚だからね。お寿司屋さんでも最強だし、平均時速60キロ、マックススピードは時速180キロに迫ると聞くわ。
部長曰く青崎は泳ぎがうまいって。泳いで捕まえられないか？
もう魔術関係ないわね、それ。仮にマダンで迎撃できたとしても保存できないわ。私回転を早めるのが専門で止めるのはちょっと。アリスは？
魚は苦手。
Alice quietly added that some of them were oddly interesting to her, so she wouldn't feel comfortable harming them. Aoko shrugged her shoulders, throwing that idea to the side.
ところで喧嘩売ってる？しずきくん。
すまない。実はちょっとからかってみた。
The collar around his neck tightened for a good 5 seconds. It was as tight as a sleeper hold.
と、まあ青崎には乱暴なことしか期待できないとして、アリスはどうなんだ？何も言わないということは魔術でお金儲けは気に入らない？
そうね。好き嫌いはともかく、お金があるのはいいことだわ。境界の目をくぐり抜けることができるなら、青子には頑張ってほしい。
危ない目に遭うのは私だけか。アリスのプロにはなんかないの？土食べたら金に変換するようなカバとか。
A hippo that eats dirt and turns it into gold or something.
ほら、中世の貴族はお抱えの錬金術師で日夜金を作り出す研究をしてたって言うじゃない？
あれはただの金食い虫。
Alchemists were a waste of time and money.
まあ、騙した貴族たちの貯蓄を食いつぶして新しい技術を生み出したから無意味ではなかったけど、このマイセンももともとは金を作ると豪語した錬金術師が苦し紛れに生んだ時期なわけだし。
Alice ran a finger along the edge of the teacup in her hand.
はあ、錬金術師ほど当てにならないやつはいないってわけか。今じゃ。
ええ、ちょっと期待してしまったけど、もともと私たちは現実社会と折り合いが悪いのよ。神秘に特化しすぎているから。ロンドンの名門になると家訓と授業は別物と割り切っていて、金融専門の弟子を取っているわ。噂だけど、ある財閥の総帥は社員全員の血を吸って情報を共有するネットワークを作っているとか。何でも吸血鬼になった理由が精神的につながった決して内部闘争しない紹介を作りたいからだったとか。
Okay. What?
極まってるな。要はそこまで徹底しないと魔術でお金儲けは難しいってことか。あ、アリスのプロイで遊園地をやるのはどう？
So, by the way, are we gonna see like vampires? I guess Chuki Himeme, we might see vampires, right? Because yeah, Chuki is like equals vampire, if I'm correct. So maybe in that game we would see vampires then. Hopefully. Sojiro clapped his hands together in excitement.
それはいい。襲われるのはもうコリゴリだけど、あの遊園地なら連日連夜大盛況だ。
私のプロイを見せ物にする気？
でも大受けよ、絶対。ロボットって言い張ればみんな騙されるし。
却下よ、青子。この話もう一度したら絶好だから。
本気で怒らせたか。だってさ、宗十郎、遊園地は諦めましょう。今度こそ友情を失っちゃうし。
Aoko backed down after Alice's cold rejection of the idea. The small talk continued, but the girls grew more distant as they tried to avoid further conflict. Soldier looked at the two with a perplexed expression.
ちょっといいかな。今猛烈に気になったんだが。
何？
いや、青崎もアリスも遊園地で本気で殺し合っただろう。それなのにまだ友達だったのか？
It was certainly a rude question to ask, but it was also an obvious thing to ask. Aoko and Alice looked at each other as they thought of an answer. They stared at each other for about 2 seconds.
ギリギリあり？
まあギリギリ
ありなんだ。
Though their friendship was surprisingly lighthearted. It also seemed to be forged from the bonds harder than steel. What is up with the whiteboard though? They didn't even show it. I thought Soldier bought a whiteboard. Their long extended tea party had just started to get going when Soldier had to leave. He didn't really want to since he was enjoying himself, but he couldn't miss his part-time job. Oh yeah, he got work.
2時間も話してたなんて珍しいわね。アリスもいつになく饒舌だったし。
That means, yes, your relationships with each other is getting better.
成り行きよ。しずきくんがあれこれ青子に質問して、あなたがそれを私にも向けてきただけ。
So it's good that Sojiro is here. Yeah, they're being much more talkative when he's here, right? Like, it's not like Aoko and Alice are like, what do you call this? Not fighting, but not talking with each other. No, it's not like that. But with Sojiro here, it becomes much more active, right?
本当、私たちが一日何をしているのかなんて聞いても仕方がないのに。
It's because a Sojiro is very curious, yes, and that's a nice trait that he has.
いや、それがそうでもない。大変役に立ちました。
はい？
Okay, here is the whiteboard. I guess Sojiro was carrying something down the hallway, ignoring Aoka's surprise. It was a large whiteboard, much like the one in the student council room. On the shiny new board was written, Chores list, mansion cleaning. What is this? First floor, east wing only, breakfast, dinner, cleaning the bath.
なんかいろいろと詮索してくると思ったら、そういう裏があったわけ？
うん。歪みを正したかったら、まずどこがおかしいのか知らないといけないからね。今夜の話じゃ、2人とも1日に1時間ぐらいは使える時間があるみたいだし、3人で1つの台所を使ってるんだから、ローテーションを組んだ方がいいだろう。協力できるところは協力しないと。
Look at these two. Sojiro is now giving them schedules. Sojiro was clearly proud of his attempt at making things better around here.
待って。私はあなたを住まわせているだけで、協力なんてする気はないって言ったでしょ。
うん、言ったね。でも、夕食を用意するなら私の分もお願いと言いたいのなら、相互扶助は当然の義務だと思うんだ。あと3人で食費を集めれば、その分美味しいものが食べられるよ。
Soldier's words pierced Alice's heart. She knew she had asked him to make dinner for her on many occasions. It was a carefully planned attack designed to make her repent for her sins, and she knew it.
でもホワイトボードを用意す ることはないんじゃない？当番なんて今まで口約束で決めてきたんだし。
Alice nodded her agreement. Therefore, or there was nothing less reliable in this world than a verbal promise. Even if they didn't say so, Sojiro could tell by the look on their faces that they intended to skip out on whatever task they were assigned to do.
ダメだ。正しい生活を送るには正しい役割を把握しないと。こういう風に書いておけば後になっても忘れないだろう。
Alko recoiled at this new development. She couldn't tell if Sojiro was just being nice or if he was saying he wouldn't tolerate any slackers.
なんてこと。証明文を書かせて責任の所在を明らかにしようだなんて。
Alice was absolutely terrified at the prospect of the daily chores.
決まりだな。誰がどこを担当するかはまた明日話し合おう。今の2人が大変なのは分かってるから、しばらくの間はこっちが多めに受け持つよ。
And with that, Sojiro left. And the two girls left behind could only sit and stare, stunned at the shiny new whiteboard.
こういうのを飼い犬に手を噛まれるというのかしら。割と小酌な性格をしていたのね、彼。
True.
知ってた。私、あいつがそういうやつって知ってたわ。
But now it was too late. They already been caught in the trap. Just this morning, Alko would receive a portion of the salad Sojiro prepared. She knew it would be wrong for her to veto the idea of them all helping each other out. The concept of dividing up the specific chores made perfect sense to Alko after all. Even so, she wanted to be able to tip the ratio of chores in her favor, at least sometimes.
青子、あなた何を考えているか丸分かりよ。
そうでしょうとも。間違いなく同じことを考えてたからね、私たち。
Alko sighed as she grabbed the whiteboard as she was going to hang it up in the kitchen so that they could all see it. Alice was still staring at the whiteboard blankly.
せめて新しい項目が増えなければいいけど。
She would come to regret ever saying those words. It's over. Dude, this is so fun, man. What is this? Wait, what? We unlock another one? A Wonderful World of Ploys. Maybe we'll check this. This is 1 and 2 though. Extra. It's called Extra. Maybe we'll do this next time once we unlock maybe more of it. Yeah, it's only 1 and 2. So I assume we're gonna unlock more of these as we go on. So I guess we'll do that. Maybe next time. Yeah, not for now. But next episode we'll do this one, the Carnegie case. But yes, as I was saying about this game is just really fun, man. It's not just, for example, when you, let's say you watch Fate the anime, right? Like Fate Zero, or what is the new run? Fate Unlimited Blade Works, right? Like it's all the action there, you see the special effects and stuff. Like that is really good. But yeah, the slice of life moments here in this game in Mahoyo and Witch and the Holy Night, it's nice, it's fun, the feel-good moments. It doesn't need to be action all the time. Like I like both of them, but even if we have just these moments, I still do enjoy it. And yeah, like an hour had passed and I was just having fun with them, just talking about the different stuff from Tobimaru earlier, right? All of them boys talking about stuff there, and then afterwards when Sojiro now is with Alice and Aoko, their conversations there. It was pretty fun. It was nice. And the comedy of Sojiro is what do you call this? Very, very unexpected, I would say. Like you would expect him to say something different, but then he says something, or no, what to say this? You would expect him to say something, let's say normal, right? But he would say the opposite, like how Tobimaru earlier said. Like, oh, Sojiro is not that kind of guy like you. But then Sojiro says afterwards, no, I actually want to pick up girls. Or I actually want to see girls. Something like that. It's just funny. So let's see what is this Carnegie case next episode. Maybe it's gonna be action this time around. We'll find out. But we are gonna continue this and do more of Witch on the Holy Night in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.